Hi, and welcome to another video by Jimthecarguy. Today we're working on a 2010. It's a Mercury Mariner, which is very similar to the Ford Escape. It's the same body style and everything. Nice. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the right front wheel off, and we're going to remove the splash cover underneath the bottom to gain access to the tension. I'm going to show you a schematic of how it looks, and let's get started. Okay, this is why we need to take that tire off and open up the fender the inside fender skirt on the right side, because down here is actually the tension. You need to go onto this right over here. I believe is a nut right here that we need to loosen this up to get this off. So first thing we're going to do is let's take that tire off, and we're going to pull the fender cover off, and we'll continue. Okay, what we're going to do in here is we're going to take out these 10 millimeters here. We're going to take these out. There should be another one in the back over here. It's like a little push pin. We're going to take that out, and we're going to pull this down out of the way to access the belt. Now, like I said, if you want to take it totally out of the way, you can, but that's about as far as I'm going to go right now on it. I'm going to show you the adjuster here. This right here is how you take the tension off. You can see how this moves. See how it moves right there? We're going to put a socket. It's probably a 15 or a 14 millimeter, and we're going to release the tension belt off. So let me grab that wrench and we'll continue on it. Okay, the way you take that off is you go in here with a socket. You put the socket on. If you want to use a wrench, you can use a wrench. I find that the socket is easier to use. It just goes over it like this. And then what you do is just give slight pressure down, and you reach in the back. And belt like this off the car, and then you can release the tension on the tensioner, and you can remove this out of the way. Belt out. And we're going to put it back in. And as you can see, it starts to develop the cracks. Not the cracks this way here, those are normal grooves in the belt. It's the cracks that go aside this way across the belt. Once it starts to develop the cracks, it'll give you that chirping type noise, and the failure is imminent. So it's better off change it before it breaks, so you don't get stranded someplace. So let's grab the new belt, and we're going to put it back together. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the new belt, and we're going to stick everything back in here. The way it's on here, we're going to snake the belt back through there, put everything on, put the belt up underneath the bottom here, and then we're just going to take the belt right here and just take it off, and then we're just going to pull on the tensioner and slide the belt back on. So let's grab the new belt. I'm going to snake it all up in here as this picture shows you, and then I'll show you how to put it back on. So let's grab the belt and continue. Okay, now I just want to point this out. Everything is on up in here the way it's supposed to be. We can see that the belt is all on its places up in here. And the last thing I'm going to do before we go any further is we're going to pry down on this tensioner right here. We're going to release the tension, and then we're going to slide the belt back onto the air conditioning compressor right there. So let me do that, and we'll see how that goes. You got your belt on, just release your tension very lightly. It'll come off. Take this out. And then before you do anything further, you're going to come up underneath here. Now that you have everything in place, and we're going to look at every place that the fan belt touches to make sure that it's in the pulley the way it belongs. You can see it's in there, on the alternator, on the idler pulley right here, around the water pump, up around the other idler pulley, around the air conditioner, and on the fan on the lower crankshaft, and everything is on exactly as it's supposed to be. In the right position, we're going to start it up and let it run for a second, and we're going to recheck it just before we put the cover back on, just to make sure that everything is where it belongs. So let's start it up and we'll make sure it's okay. Okay, now that we've had it running, I might add that if you have this running, do not put your fingers anywhere near there. I don't have to say that, I'm sure everybody knows it already, but don't take a chance putting your fingers in any place in here with this off. All right, then look and make sure everything is on as it's supposed to be, which it is. Everything looks perfect. All right, next thing we're going to do then is we're going to come back over here, and we're going to reattach our cover that we previously took off. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're just going to reinstall this cover back where it came off. Make sure you don't pinch anything underneath it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put our push pin back in this, all right? Put it in there and push it in, and it locks right in. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to re-secure it with those 10mm bolts that we took out. Before you put anything in all tight, put them in by hand first. After you have it bought by hand, then you can screw it in with your ratchet. Last but not least, we're going to put that 10 millimeter in on the bottom right here. And once we have everything caught, then we can tighten everything up so that it's tight. You're going into plastic, so don't shoot it on with an air gun or anything. You're just going to tighten it in by hand. Same thing here. And that's it. We're going to throw the tire on, we're going to drive it, make sure it's okay, and that's it. We're all done. Like always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.